biggest thing that Adidas have done that's benefited the football scene this season is really brought nostalgia back to football. And I think this one here and many of the other third shirts for Adidas this season, alongside their EQT sort of resemblance and inspiration, they've done absolutely one of the best jobs they can. I think this one here, out of all the releases this season thus far, have really brought it back for me. I do love the bold black detailing in the neckline and of course on the Adidas logo here. And I think this hands down is my favorite Real Madrid shirt of many generations. There have been some really good ones, even the one in the background here, the away this season. I have spoken about their home shirt this season, and if you haven't, that's probably my first realization that Adidas are doing a great job when it comes to their fan and player spec, also known as Aero Ready and Heat Ready. And I think today's shirt, even though it is an Aero Ready fan spec version, it does have great elements that I think, again, similar to my Adidas third shirt review, is that when it comes to either designs, I think whatever material they have used, either prime green and recycled materials, I think Adidas are by far the leaders in the football shirt industry. And again, I know I always say Adidas and Nike and maybe Puma as the top three, you know, elite level football jerseys, but they are the higher brands, of course. They always get a lot more attention. But on this channel, we have spoken about brands like Yakor, Hummel, and even Umbro. And I think when it comes to your dollar well spent, I think the Adidas shirts have done by far the best so far. Comparing it to Nike, out of the two major brands, I think Adidas have done by far the best job. The Real Madrid third shirt this season takes a really simple Adidas template. It's a 4-panel system alongside some beautiful detailing with the stitched on 3 stripes on both shoulder line, and of course the stitched on Adidas logo and the Real Madrid badge. Then we do have a heat pressed Fly Emirates. If you haven't, do check out the detailing photos on the Adidas website for this shirt, but you can see a few little elemental pieces within the shirt. It does have a nice thin sort of pinstripey design element within the shirt going from top to bottom, but within each sort of couple of centimeters and millimeters, you do see a ripple effect. I do like this design element. The shirt itself is inspired by the Kilometers 2-0, a plaque that's in Madrid that really sort of stands alone as the center point of Spain. I do like the inspiration for that, but they could have said that this is inspired by many things, and going for something like that is pretty much just saying that it is inspired by the local man that walks the streets every day. I think when it comes to the stories behind a shirt, sometimes I think manufacturers and clubs really need to stop doing that. They're going to run out of options, and they're really going to make things up. I think that one here is by far the best one. I'm going to speak about that, but there's always this talk that a shirt is inspired by the city. I don't know how many times they're going to do that. I think the home shirt for, say, Juventus is one of those things where they're always going to say it's inspired by the past. But for this one here, they could have said it's inspired by anything. The fact, the design element and the color choice, I think that's what they should have gone for. The conversation behind the color is and has been seen many times in different shades of blue, but I think this one here, that sort of aqua turquoisey color, really does give me that 90s effect. And when it comes to the EQT series that we've seen on all the Adidas shirts, I think this colorway is one of the colorways that we do see in the early 2000s and even late 90s. I do like the color combinations. I think this as a trio of color could be a perfect sort of lifestyle piece, and I do like to see this come back for many other Adidas shirts. The shirt itself does not feature anything on the back this time, but I do like the Real Madrid choice of name sets. The front does feature the Holy Trinity as mentioned, as well as the Aero Ready at the front. Overall, like I said, it's a pretty simple shirt, but the colorway and even the nostalgia behind it does give me good and happy vibes. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5. This shirt is supplied to me by my good friends at Ultra Football. If you're after this shirt or any other shirt that I've spoken about on this channel, make sure to follow and find them online. And yeah, check out all the kits on Ultra Football, description in the below. For those Pantone fans out there, if you're after the name of the shirt and the color, it is known as Blast Emerald. I do have a little trick that I like to do. If I like the colorway that Adidas or Nike or any other brand has done for the club shirt, always search up the name and color of the Pantone in the search bar, and you can find other pieces that fit that Pantone of shirt so you can match your outfits to. Another little detailing that I do love about this shirt, and I have noticed it on many of the other Adidas third shirts, it is the monochromatic design that we do see here on the Real Madrid badge. Doing a bit of a quality control, I do like the material on all Adidas shirts this season. I think every manufacturer has done a pretty much great job. I don't like many of the sort of stitching elements in some of the shirts I've seen in the last 2 seasons. I think this year I have not seen any design fault so far. Turning the shirt inside out, one thing I do like to check is always that sort of elemental piece when it comes to stitched on items from the Holy Trinity. Is that going to affect you on a training day or even sort of usage of the shirt? The neckline and collar line inside does look really firm, so I don't see much stretching to this. Of course, a little tip that I like to say on some of my episodes, if you are new to this channel, I like to let you know in every aspect of a shirt collecting item, but if you are after a new shirt and want to identify if it's fake or not, there is an identifying number on the inside of the neckline, so always check that. Search up the code and see if it does take you back to this shirt. There is a QR code, but of course, if you have that photo, send it to your friends on Twitter or on Facebook, and you will potentially be able to find it with your peers. And of course, if you are washing any new or old shirt, make sure to wash it in cold, inside out in your washing machine with a slow setting, because you do not want to rip that. When it comes to Real Madrid shirts, there aren't really many that really push the boundaries. I do like this one, and of course, if you have a favorite Real Madrid shirt, make sure to let me know in the comments below. Apart from the Arsenal third shirt, when it comes to all Adidas releases this year inspired by the EQT series, I think the Real Madrid third shirt does a great job for playing nostalgia in the color base. Design element wise, it's pretty simple. Like I said, this shirt is definitely a top high elite mark, and I do think it will be a future classic. And I think I would like to see this in a player spec. I think the heat ready does add a little bit more detailing to some of the elements, and if you do have that, let me know in the comments below what you think of the comparison to the era ready version is. Well, as always, thank you so much for watching today's episode. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to find me on Instagram and Twitter, and we are also on Reddit, so make sure to find us on Reddit as Talking Shirt. But as always, please stay safe, stay away from stupid people, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you and goodbye.